Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about how all the universities, even the most popular universities, are thinking about waiving off these standardized test requirements such as GRE, GMAT, SATs. But the truth is, have they all waived off these tests? No, they haven't. Even at this moment, a lot of universities are still requiring you to actually take the test, and it's a hard requirement. You can't forego this requirement, you can't evade it. It's something that needs to be done. So the question arises, when so many universities are waiving off the test, and by the way, if you do not know which ones are doing that right now, we actually update the list. I'll tell you where. But the main question is, should you still take the test, given that it's so hard? First off, these tests require immense preparation. You have to be very you have to be very quick on your feet. You need to be ready whatever kind of questions you get. Okay, given the COVID and its impact, the tests most of these tests are happening from home. And should you still consider taking them? Because there is an easier alternative, and that is, don't take the test and go on and apply straight away. So that's one pathway for you. The other one is, the standard one. You take the standardized test and then you go ahead and apply with those scores. Okay. Not only do you have to pay for the test, you have to study for it 2 or 3 months for the very least, and then after that, what you have to do is you have to send your scores to each university that you apply to. So it's definitely a hassle. It's definitely heavier on your pocket as well. And there are ways nowadays that you can forego it. Let me actually show you that list first. The list of universities that is very updated right now, and we keep on updating it every few weeks. So a lot of universities have actually, if you just go onto this website waived.com and go into the articles tab over here, it's right over here, articles, and you can see the most popular article on the website would be the universities waiving off the GRE and GMAT in the US. Okay, so you open it up and you'll find a list of universities over here that are waiving it off. I'm not going to go over this list because I've already done a video on it. If you haven't checked it out, you can do that. But the more important point is that universities like Berkeley, UC San Diego, North Carolina, all these major universities, Northwestern University, okay, Rice University, University of Florida, Northeastern, these are most popular universities that students apply to every single year. And these appear to be waiving off the GRE and GMAT and SAT requirements also in some cases. Okay, so what you need to do is, first off, you can actually go ahead, you can check out which of these universities are good for you depending on the class profile of the universities. But again, that's not for this video. The main point that I want to make over here is that a lot of universities are waiving it off. Okay, but if, let's say, you are someone, and number one, this is the number one scenario, if you're someone who's already been preparing, you're already close to maybe getting a good score on one of these tests, that can be around 650, 700 on the GMAT, that can be 320, 310 on the GRE, right? So depending on your tests, if you're able to score somewhere around that mark, which will qualify you as a good applicant, which will put you under the spotlight, right, that this applicant has done well already, and you think you're going to be able to achieve these scores on the test in the next 1 month, 2-3 weeks, because the admissions start then, you should take the test. The reason is not because it's not that you can't apply without it. You can definitely go ahead, you can apply without it. You can just take the language score, TOEFL, IELTS, whatever, and you can apply. But the more important bit over here is that will limit the shortlisting of the universities. Okay, now every time we shortlist the universities, a lot of students are coming over here today, these days. I'd like to just point out to this services section, we actually do the profile evaluation and university shortlisting for a lot of students. We bring out something like this, a list of this kind, and a lot of students are coming out and they're mentioning that we are not comfortable taking the GRE, the GMAT, and we want to take advantage of the scenario, and we want to apply to universities that are waiving off this requirement for fall 2021. And you know what, we actually still make those lists. We make those lists for those students, but the problem here is that awfully limits the number of universities you can apply to. Okay, so let's say that if you are someone who's interested in applying to only universities in California or only universities in a particular area, then it may not be a very good idea to actually skip the test. All right, I mean, if you have some special requirements, that I need to be in this location, or I need to do this, or in Canada also I need to be in Toronto itself, something like that, or near Toronto. So these things will definitely come into the picture. And for Canada, it's all right. Most universities never really had this strict requirement to begin with, but when it comes to the US, and you are also dealing with such constraints, it's a little bit difficult to accommodate them, and you will be limiting the list to a very small number of universities, depending on, of course, your profile also limits them, right? Like maybe your profile is good enough to get into the top 300, but it's not good enough to get into the top 10. So the top 10 are already waived off. So when you see universities like University of California, Berkeley over here, you can tell that this one, even if it's waiving the GRE, it's not really good for you. It doesn't matter, right? So all of these things come into the picture over here. Second case scenario, however, if you are someone who is struggling to take the test, you are not able to cross to a good score, on the GRE, you're not able to cross 300 on the GMAT, you're not able to cross maybe 560, 580, maybe 600 even, and you still want to apply, you still want your application to look good. In that case, what you can do is you can skip these tests, leave them be, and focus on your profile, focus on your applications, focus on building your applications stronger, focus on your SOPs, your LOs. Let me know if you need any of the videos on these topics. Comment down below and I'll be very happy to guide you on that. Okay, so all of these things that you can do, I think it's essentially the way you spend your time in the next few months, next few weeks at least, will depend on what you want to do and which universities you want to apply to. So the first step is definitely shortlisting the universities, knowing where you can apply to. Okay, and if you see that all the universities you want to apply to are waiving off this requirement, it's good enough. But I'll tell you right now that this is still a short list, and not every university is waiving off the requirement. And definitely the TOEFL, IELTS, language testing requirement, they will not be waived because they are requirements by the indirectly, but still by the government itself of the country. So that's something that you cannot skip at any cost. Okay, so anyway, I hope this video gives you a little bit more of a perspective as to whether you should still take the test or not. Like I said, two scenarios. Maybe you're on the brighter side of the test, you're already doing well on there. I would say still take the test. Don't skip it because you want to shine, even if you're applying to these universities as well. Secondly, if you're someone who's been struggling with the test for maybe the past 2 years, or even right now, if you started, you're not able to cope up with it, you can take advantage of the scenario. You can apply without it. Please do not please do not comment down below telling me that the competition is so high that people who are skipping the test won't be able to get in, because that's crap. I do not believe in that. I think that a lot of people will get in, and I'll prove it to you once we actually have admits because I'm working with a lot of applicants who are doing this, and they will definitely get the admits, I can assure you. So don't tell me that the applicants can't get in, even if they're not taking the GRE, they can get in 100%. All right, so hopefully this gives you some perspective. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, have a good night whenever you're watching this, and subscribe to the channel if you like the efforts. Give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.